Hello, fellow gamers, and welcome to this bonus round episode of the Video Gamers Podcast. On this awesome episode, we're going to get a lot of sounds and music stuck in your head because we're breaking down the most iconic video game sounds of all time.
Oh, yeah.
This will be an episode to remember, but first, some introductions are in order. I am your host, Josh, and joining me, you might catch him yelling his war cry of or chanting like a Gregorian monk. It's Ryan.
You know, I wish I had the vocal range to do both of those things very well, but I do not.
That was not a bad murgle.
That was
right?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, man. Well, that is just a tease of some of the stuff that we are going to talk about in this episode. Ryan, I got to say, man, I am pumped for this one.
Oh, me too, dude. This is going to be fun.
Anytime that we have to come up with like a list of stuff and within 20 seconds, I have like 15 different ideas, you know it's going to be something that resonates with the listeners, something that gamers just love. And earlier we said, man, let's just do those sounds that any gamer in the world could identify that are always right there, just right in the forefronts of our minds. I know my list I came up with super fast. And then it was kind of fun to think of some like stuff that maybe didn't come up right away either. But we're going to cover all that in this episode. We do have a pretty awesome announcement. We have a new legendary supporter by the name of UnhingedFury.
Yeah, Unhinged.
I like that. That's a kind of a cool name, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Fury, is it ever hinged? Can you have hinged Fury?
I don't know, like the fighting monks. They got like a lot of
is that Fury? I feel like that's like just
Fists of Fury.
Yeah, Fists of Fury.
I guess.
But UnhingedFury signed up as a legendary member to support the show. They have also chosen a game for one of us to play. We're not going to reveal that just yet, but they did reach out on that as well. So we are going to cover a game that a listener chose for us to play here in a few weeks. We've got a special Halloween game that we're going to be diving into here pretty soon, Ryan, that I am very excited for.
Yeah, I know you guys are excited to watch me. Watch me scream like a girl.
You know, you might be a chicken in the sense that you're going to yell and scream, but I get kind of freaked out too, man. So yeah. I think this is going to be, that's going to be a fun game.
Jump scares, I love them, and I know they're going to happen, and it gets me every time. And it's the anticipation more than anything. Like, oh my gosh, what's going to jump at me? When?
Yeah. So thank you to UnhingedFury for helping support the show. If you want to be like UnhingedFury and support this podcast and continue to bring this to the world, you can head over to multiplayersquad.com to check out some of the perks there as well. And while we're talking about helping out the show, Ryan, what's a little something we like to do? People might leave a review for us, and then what do we do with that usually?
I think we read them live.
We read
to us.
We read them live.
We read them live to us on our recording.
It's
on the
gonna
show.
Be tough to top the last review that we read, but we do have a review I want to read to everybody. This one comes in from Mr. Marv77. It is a 5-star review, and it's titled "This is Amazing." And it's short and sweet. It says, I was just trying to find a podcast that wasn't boring and not funny. Then I found this. It's amazing. I wish I knew about this podcast sooner. I write 5 stars, and you should too.
Break yourself, fool. Write another one.
Is this going to become a voice?
We're just going to, we have to act out everyone in ridiculous voices now.
Hey, we always said we read reviews verbatim, so whatever you put in there, somebody left a review one time that was just a bunch of emojis, and I remember reading that one. So, but hey, if you're, speaking of reviews, take a second. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you can leave us 5 stars and write a review. If you're listening on Spotify, you can rate us 5 stars, but that really does help the show as well. Ryan, I say we just get into it, buddy. I know we've got a lot to cover on this episode, and I cannot wait to start talking about these sounds, man.
They've been going, and Josh earlier, like with what he said about how excited he gets, he's not kidding. He was like immediately texting me how big his list was. Oh, I got like 10 now. Oh, now I got like 20, but I trimmed it back down to 15. Oh, no, it's back up to 20. All day, that's what he was doing.
It was pretty fun to dive into this and just start going into the recesses of the old brain and trying to remember some sounds and stuff like that too. So little spoiler, there will be a little bit of really awesome music that is included in here as well.
Oh yeah.
Ryan, why don't you lead us off, Ryan? Now, I think what we decided was we each came up with a list of sounds. We're going to just kind of go down that list. I think that kind of covers it, to be honest, to prevent this from being like a 2-hour episode. Yeah. I think we're just each going to kind of give our lists, reminisce about the sounds a little bit, and then we'll leave it at that. I don't think we're going to try to crown a number one, but
no.
maybe?
I mean, we may say it, but yeah, it's not like these aren't going to be in like any
particular order.
Yeah, no order. We're just kind of listing off some stuff, and I'm sure we'll forget a ton. I try to think of as many as I could, but there's going to be so many that we didn't even remember. Like, yeah, it's they'll be there.
What's funny is Paul saw us chatting, and then he jumped in with a few that he was like, "Oh, you guys got to mention these," and I was like, "Oh my goodness, those sounds are great too." Yeah. But I was like, "But they're not on my list."
So there's so many of them. So yeah, a lot of people are gonna think about these all the next few days after they hear this episode.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, why don't you start us off here? What you got?
Well, to start off here, I am going to go with Waka 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 Waka.
Is that Pac-Man?
OG Pac-Man. Waka Waka.
That's on my list as well.
Is it on your list as well?
Absolutely. I mean, okay. I know there's people out there right now that are saying, I have never played a Pac-Man game in my life. This is way too old for me and my gaming takes and stuff like that. But dude, the Pac-Man sound, I think is universally identifiable to everyone, man. Like I actually, because it's on my list, I played it for my kids early and I said, do you know what sound this is? And my kids were like, yeah, that's Pac-Man. Yep. They've never played Pac-Man.
Exactly.
They don't know.
You can hear it from across the room. You just hear wah, 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 and you're like, oh, that's Pac-Man. Somebody's playing Pac-Man. Yeah.
Yeah. It is so identifiable. Now, how do you spell that sound, Ryan?
I did WAKKA. Waka, 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 waka.
That is exactly how I spelled it.
No way, right? Yep.
On my list, it's spelled Waka Waka.
Waka, that's how I did
Oh, man.
That's good.
Dude, I remember playing Pac-Man as a kid in the arcade. Thought it was the greatest thing ever. Being able to eat those stupid ghosts, man. Yep. And then you get greedy and you try to follow one and then they turn around and get you.
Smoke it. Yeah, growing up, I had a Mexican restaurant we went to as a family ever since I was a little kid, and they always had a Pac-Man machine there, and I always bum a couple quarters off my mom to play it. So yeah, I definitely had my fair share of time on Pac-Man.
All right, Ryan. So for me, since we went really old, let's go a little bit more modern. This one, I think a lot of people are going to know what this is, but my first choice for one of the most iconic sounds is the creeper from Minecraft. Absolutely identifiable to anybody out there. This was another one where I made my kids close their eyes and I just said, what is this? And before it even, within a half a second, that little fuse sound, they were like, that's a creeper, Dad. We know that. And I was just like, yeah, you know why you know that? Because that's one of those sounds that nobody can ever forget.
Yeah, I was pretty late to the Minecraft game. I just started playing with the kids just to hang out with them and check it out. And I quickly learned what that sound was, and then I would get in trouble.
You don't forget it either. It's a dreaded sound.
I'm not sure
that sound ever comes with like happiness, does it?
No, I don't think so.
All right. What's up next on your list, Ryan?
So I'm going to go with another older one, not crazy old, but something that's a little more personal, but everybody knows this sound. It's become a TikTok sound, unfortunately, but fortunately, I guess. And it's the Metal Gear Solid Alert sound, baby.
Oh, dude, that was okay. This was the very first sound that came to mind for me.
Yeah.
Like when we said, what's the most iconic game sounds? And I'm not saying that there aren't others that are more iconic, but this sound was the very first sound that my brain thought of.
Yeah.
Because it was like because it's like an alert, right? Like
It's not like specific to anything, so it's just an alert noise, but it's so that is what it's to. Everybody knows that sound and recognizes that sound, and so they may not even know what it goes to, but they know that sound is an alert sound.
What's really funny is if we went anywhere and just posted a red exclamation mark and said, "What sound does this make?" Millions of gamers around the world would hear that sound in their head instantaneously, man. Yeah. So it's so funny that like you can post just an exclamation mark. It has to be red is the thing, but you post that and that sound is going to play in people's minds instantaneously.
Or you see like those cosplayers at the different conventions and stuff, and there'll be Snake or somebody, and they have the red exclamation mark above their head, or they'll be the soldiers and they'll have it. I mean, and you hear it when you see it. All you have to do is see it, and it's just one of those definitely long lasting, iconic, transcending sounds.
All right. Ryan, we got to get into a little bit of music here, buddy.
Oh,
I mean, I think the people have been waiting for it. I hinted at it on the intro of the show. I don't know that there is a more iconic song in gaming than the Halo theme song, dude.
Yeah.
That opening screen with the Halo ring and the monks chanting, and it starts off just that slowly, but then it builds. And this is the part I love. The song is like two parts for me. It's the monks chanting. And then it gets into the beat. I know we're going to have a sample right here, but dude, I was actually clipping this earlier and I was listening to this and I get chill bumps, dude.
Yeah.
Like every single time.
Every time.
I hear this freaking song, man. Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, it's because it's got that deep, harmonious echoing, like the monks all singing that like, you feel almost spiritually energized, and then it just starts pumping with the drums and and you're like,
can sing. That's the thing.
I'm ready.
Like,
I'm ready to go, baby. And everybody, whether they can sing worth a lick, has in their bathroom or in a hallway or something that echoes, done the monks chant like that. Everybody's done that.
Dude, I have to share this story real quick. My wife was working she's an artist, and so she was working in her studio, and she listens to a lot of Spotify and stuff when she's doing that. And she sends me a text. I'm at work, and she says, "Oh my goodness, Halo has some of the best music ever." And she had just kind of randomly come across like the Halo theme song in some playlist that she was listening to. Uh-huh. She has no idea what the Halo music was. I mean, this is not like, she never played Halo. She knows Mario and Zelda and stuff, but the fact that I got a text message that said, "Halo is so good, the music is great," I just was like, I've never been more in love with you in my life.
You're so beautiful, darling.
It was just the most random thing, but I was like, that just shows you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, when people have no idea that it still hits. I want to address something real quick. You said you got chill bumps?
Yeah,
you mean
goosebumps? You never heard it called chill bumps?
That's like what are the Brits
It might
call
be a
it?
southern
Goose
thing.
pimples?
I'll be honest. Listen, I grew up in Pennsylvania up north, and we called them goosebumps.
Okay.
And then I moved to Louisiana when I was 15 and lived there for over a decade, and they call them chill bumps down there because it gives you chills, right? Like, because people say, "Oh, I got chills. Look at my arm," right? It makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. It just I use those things where you never hear them a different way very often.
Is this going to be the new thing, Ryan? I'm going to post a picture, and I'm going to say, "What do you call these things?"
Yeah, goosebumps or chill bumps? Let's hear it.
And then everybody's gonna be like, "Whoa, chill bumps makes so much more sense."
I know, right? I'm not a goose.
Oh, all right, Ryan. It's gonna be hard to top the Halo theme song, but what do you got?
Oh man, let's go something newer and something in honor of Spooky Month. Something a little spooky. And there's no sound I dread more hearing in a game than this. Freaking clickers, dude. And The Last of Us.
I was going to try to do the voice, and I feel like it'd just make me cough.
Oh, yeah. It'd like rip your vocal cords in half.
There's something so freaky about that sound. And I don't know what it is, because it's like, zombies kind of have like their moan and stuff, but the clicker sound is so like guttural.
Yeah.
Or something like it comes from a place that like it shouldn't come from. Kind of
it just sounds so unnatural. And then especially when you pair that with what they look like and what they can do, it just creates that fear of that sound the second you hear it. Yeah,
I don't even. My brain's just revolting right now, man.
It's almost like those nails on a chalkboard type things where you're just like, oh no, I got to get away.
All right. You know what, Ryan? Since we're doing this, I'm gonna bring up one that everybody in the world hates this song or this sound, and I played it for my kids, and they said we've heard this before, and I said, how does this song make you feel? And they both went terrible, anxious, like, oh, I don't like it, and that is. The Sonic drowning music.
Oh, man.
Dude, there is nothing more anxiety-inducing than this. I'm going to call it a sound. I think it's a song. This one's kind of borderline. I guess it's a song because it plays for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But, I mean, listen, you just heard the sound. Everybody listening just heard the sound. Tell me you don't feel more anxious right now.
Yeah. No, that's what it's meant to do.
It's exactly what it's meant to do. And it is terrifying, man. Like, my blood pressure is up just thinking about it, like just hearing it. And I don't like it. Whoever came up with that, number one, is a mastermind in creating anxiety in a game, but also shame on you.
Yeah. Shame. Oh man, that's and poor Sonic too, because you see him just go, and then his arms go up and he just drowns, and you're like,
just sinks right down to the bottom.
Poor little hedgehog.
Oh man,
my bad.
All right, Ryan, hit us with one more, and then we'll take a quick break here before we get to some more.
Sweet. Let's go with one. Ooh, this would be a good one to finish before the break. I would say it's a very good bet that most people are going to know this song sound as well, because it's one of those just iconic that transcended like just video games, because it was having to do with sports. And so it's going to be
EA Sports. It's in the game.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
It's in the game.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
It's in the game.
Dude, imagine making just mountains of money, and that's what you do. You just do that audio track like that.
Dude, I listen, we don't promote EA very much around these parts, but that was one of the catchiest things that they've ever come up with, dude.
Oh, yeah. When you intentionally make sure the sound's on so you can hear that coming in, because that gets you ready or hyped up. Like,
absolutely, man. And this was in like the heyday too, when like EA was really making good sports games and they hadn't been just rinsed and repeated for a decade.
Yeah, exactly.
And hearing that sound and knowing that you and your buddies were about to just have this massive showdown in whatever sports game that was loading up, was so good, man. Yeah, it was a very good way to get you hyped, and it was just so short and like perfect.
Yeah.
With
short,
how it hit
sweet,
too,
just bam, you were ready after that.
Yeah. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break, and then, man, I've still got like 8-9 more to talk about. So we'll see how this goes, but we'll be back in just a second. All right, Ryan, I'm going to, let's just fire this off right now after the break.
Oh, here we go.
The next one for me, this makes me laugh every single time I hear it. I love watching this video. This is one of the most iconic things I think comes to mind with gaming, and it is Leroy
Dragons!
Leroy Jenkins, baby.
Oh, and it's so good. It's just so good.
I can watch the full video of these guys doing the whole like raid prep and the 33% repeating, of course, and this whole spiel that they do. I love the guy, just Leroy Jenkins coming back and just charging in. I know it was all staged, but man, what a moment in gaming. And there is nothing like it. I didn't know that my kids knew Leroy Jenkins.
Oh, really?
And we were driving. So I can't remember where we were. And somebody had a Leroy Jenkins like bumper sticker. And my kids were like, Dad, look, it's Leroy Jenkins. And I was like, how do you guys know about that? And they're like, Dad, we know about Leroy Jenkins.
Oh,
and I was like,
awesome.
Have you ever seen the video? And they were like, wait, there's a video?
Oh, that's like Christmas Day, dude,
have to
right
watch
there.
The video now.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish I could just experience watching that for the first time again. Like,
oh, dude, that was so good, man. Anybody that has ever played WoW or any kind of MMO at all knows what it's like when somebody pulls too early or aggro's too early or any of that. It was the perfect just setup and the perfect sound when that happened, and it took the world by storm, man. And
it's one of those two that I don't know about anyone else, but I'll still, we're waiting to go in and we're going to rush somewhere, we're going to do something, and you're just like, forget this, and you're just going to go in, Leroy Jenkins, and you
how
just
many
run
times
off.
when we were playing Helldivers and we were about to like attack like a big bug nest,
you just run
one
in
of us
early,
just scream it and run over the hill.
Yeah, it's just one of those that you can use whenever. So it's almost like a catchphrase thing now that you can use just to be a goofball. That's a good one. I love that one.
Oh, man.
See, there it is. Like all the stuff that I thought of, and I played a Mountain with Paul, huge on the Leroy Jenkins video, and I totally spaced that one. So I didn't even come to mind.
Listen, we are not going to be able to cover all of the sounds that people are thinking of right now. Come to our Discord server.
Yes.
We have the best gaming Discord server you have ever seen in your life. It is fantastic. Everybody is awesome. There is no toxicity whatsoever. But one of the things that we love about it is people love to chat video games or the topics from the episodes or something like that. So if you are not in our Discord server, stop. Look at this episode, because in the description is a link. All you have to do is click it and you will be there, and you can tell us about the most iconic sounds that we missed or the songs that you can't believe we talked about or something like that. But come join us, have fun, and be a part of this discussion over there as well.
And don't forget, if you join on the Discord, you have a chance to win a game we're deep diving, Star Wars Outlaws. All you got to do is just join the Discord, totally free. Come in, say hi, and you got a chance to win a copy.
Yeah, we are giving away a copy of Star Wars Outlaws, but there are two criteria. Number one, you must be in our Discord server, and you must listen to the episode to hear your name announced. So if you don't catch that you were the winner, we're going to pick somebody else.
Yeah. So listen, or else.
Yeah. All right. Who's up, Ryan? Is it me? Is it you?
I think it's me. Yeah, because you just did.
We're going with you.
You just did Leroy. So I'm going to stick on the WoW trend, and it goes with your intro, and it's the beautiful Murloc sound. Those stupid. Oh, I can still. It's the same thing as any of these other ones that just make you cringe. The second I would hear that when I'm out farming or doing something in WoW, and I just hear them, and I'm like, it was more of annoyance, because I don't know, you didn't play a lot of WoW or anything, right?
I know of the Murlocs.
Okay.
I remember when I was blitzing through WoW when you could level to 80 within 2 days or whatever. I remember the Murloc area, but this was basically just me slaughtering thousands of Murlocs because it was so simplified at that point. I will say, I know this sound very, very well from my time with Hearthstone. Because anytime you played a Murloc in Hearthstone, it would make that exact sound. So I know this sound very, very well, just not from World of Warcraft.
That's funny. Yeah, no, it was just one of those where it was just so annoying when you're out looking for stuff or farming. And they had a big window or a big range where they you could pull aggro on them, and they just come charging, and you're like, dang it, and then they'd pull a few more. You'd have to go fight 4 or 5 stupid Murlocs and then go back to what you were doing.
And everybody has tried to do the Murloc sound at some point.
They're probably doing it right now listening.
I know, I was going to say, I know, we hear you.
Yeah.
I know I've done it a few times to try to just, see if I can't nail it. Because it sounds like it'd be easy.
Yeah.
And then it ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
So, all right, Ryan, I mean, this game is so iconic that I hate to dip back into this well, but I have to do it one more time. The next sound for me, and man, this is such a glorious sound. When you hear this, it's like you're scared, but then you're covered in warmth and security. And that sound is the Halo Recharge sound. When that shield comes back and
in
you
the
get
game.
past that warning beep,
Yep.
and it's like, oh, I'm going to die. I'm not going to die. I got my shields back, baby.
Charge!
Yeah, and then exactly. Then you just pop back out.
That's when you go and you Leroy Jenkins back into the battle.
Yeah. Oh man, that sound is just—it means life. It means you're back.
Yep, and you didn't die in that interaction until then you get stuck with a sticky nade or something right after that, and get killed
and then
anyway.
death is coming.
Yeah.
No matter what. Yeah,
that's a good one. That's one of those where just everyone hears it, and it does. It just fills you with warm and fuzzies.
Yep. All right, what you got, Ryan?
Let's go with one that a newer game, one of our favorites of all time, and something that was personally used a mountain of times in my house with my young son.
Get in the boat, boy. Boy. This way, boy. Slow down, boy. We do what we please, boy.
God of War, Kratos yelling, boy. Boy.
Boy.
I'm just going to put a bunch of boys in there because my son is, he was born in 17, being a real dad right here, I think to 17. But anyways, so he was pretty young when 2018 came out, and he would sit on the couch and whatnot while I was playing. And so I'd always go, boy, and he'd go, huh. He'd just make a grunt noise, and I'd just yell, boy, to him. And he's a pasty little ginger like Atreus was, so it was perfect.
Dude, I wish I had the voice to actually say that the right way. You were sick last week. You're still a little bit, but you shared a clip where it was Kratos saying "Death can have me when it earns me," and you sounded, because you had that sickness in your voice, but everybody was like, "That's not you."
Death can have me when it earns me.
When I
I
know
it really is me.
You guys said it. Ace said it. A couple other of my friends said it. It was I still got a little bit of the rasp to me, but yeah, when I get sick, my voice just gets so dang deep.
All right, I gotta, Ryan, this one, we're gonna jam for a second. We're gonna have to let this one play for a few seconds. Because, dude, every time I've seen some really good reels made from this, there's a lot of memes about the making of this where, somebody's like, hey man, we just need some pause music for the game. And then you just see people going crazy. And that is... the GoldenEye pause music. Oh my goodness,
so
man.
good.
I freaking love this song. Look, okay, number one, this is an absolute banger of a song.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
The fact that this is the pause menu music out of nowhere, it just goes that hard.
That's how they took games seriously back then, man.
Dude, I mean, the fact that we rave about GoldenEye back in the day, but we got to actually experience this, and just your friends would be like, put the pause music on, and you're like, all right, man, and then you just sit there and just let it play, and it would just loop. Yeah, and you look over and everybody's doing exactly what we're doing, where they're just they're just kind of banging their head a little bit, and it's bobbing. And
nobody saw us, but on our video chat we have when we record, we were both definitely just dancing the whole time. It's got that.
It's impossible not to.
It's got that kind of boppy just beat that's like a bouncy beat. Do. And so you're just like,
If the Halo music gets me amped, the GoldenEye pause music makes me just want to dance, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it really makes me want to just start moving.
Yep. It's one of those where you just can't help yourself. You just start,
It's so good.
You
It's
know,
so
people
good.
in the car or on their phones, wherever they're listening right now, when that played, they're like, their head probably
Skip back
moved a little
15
bit.
seconds. Skip
Yeah.
back 15 seconds.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
just
go
listen
back.
to that again.
Just loop it.
Oh man, I freaking dude. Between Halo and that, I cannot. I just it's like gaming paradise, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, what's
all
up
right.
next for you, buddy?
So it's for me. You did that there. So I'm gonna go with one that very, very big franchise, and another one of those sounds that gives you the warm and fuzzies because you're probably doing a good job. You're getting close, but I'm going with. The Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, whatever ones you want to do with the hit marker sound.
Dude, what a satisfying sound. Like when
You're
you
like,
know
yeah.
you're lighting that dude up,
You get a
and then
beat
you
on
hear
him.
and then you hear the plates crack.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
oh, he's cracked.
He's cracked. He's
Oh.
cracked. Push.
Oh, dude, I don't know what it is. It just, that sound makes you feel so good. And I love that it's like, that you're landing your shots at that point.
Yeah.
But it is glorious in the dopamine that it like just gives your brain like instantly.
Yeah. It's like the kids or people who like the fidget spinners and clicking like switches and stuff. It's that feeling. And then also, it's like an audible response to your brain. Like, I'm on target, keep leading them this way or keep doing whatever I'm doing because it's working. And so yeah, that's one of those ones, big time. And then I forget which ones, but when you get the headshot and it's the tink.
Oh yeah.
Tink. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Overwatch is very good with that. Where the
nice.
headshot sound, that tink, 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 tink.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, I just lit that dude up.
Yeah.
All right. We gotta go a little nostalgia on this one. Now listen, I know this game may not be everybody's cup of tea, and there definitely are people that never got a chance to play it. But for those that did, they know this sound.
You must construct additional pylons.
Oh, this one was going to be, this is on my
additional
list.
pylons, buddy.
I was a Protoss guy. Are you a Protoss guy?
I was a Protoss guy. Now,
Okay.
I was also a Zerg guy.
I was going to
So-
say, you seem like a Zerg Rush guy.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
little
I like
Zerg
both.
rusher.
I was better with the Zerg than I was with the Protoss. But so in my mind, it's the spawn more overlords, but I do think that the construct additional pylons is
Yeah.
the more iconic one.
We require
but-
more Vespene gas.
Yeah, dude. There's so many, like that whole thing, like with even Warcraft, job's done.
Yeah. Yep.
Like just
Job's
there's
done.
so many good voice lines.
So what do you think, I guess for us, old timers with the nostalgia coming in and into play and stuff, do you think that there was just video games as a whole with where they were at and the development was just still so new and there wasn't as widespread of indie developers and these other things, so there wasn't that many games. There was a lot, but nothing crazy, but the big ones is what everybody played. Do you think that's why these older sounds hit so hard for us?
It's really weird to me because nostalgia definitely like etches itself into your memory, and we admit that. Like, I mean, we're older gamers, we talk about games that, like I said, a lot of listeners have been like, I've heard of that game, but I've never played it. I'm never going to play it, that kind of thing. And I don't know is the thing,
Yeah.
Because there are these sounds like the construct additional pylons thing where it's not, I wouldn't say it's like super widespread, but it's one of those things where if you know,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And that sounds kind of like elitist in a way, but it's funny because like I asked my kids, I said, hey, what do you think some of the most iconic game sounds are? And they didn't have like a list of 15, like right off the top of their head. The Creeper was the one that they thought about right away. And that makes sense because I mean, every kid in the world has played Minecraft at this point. There's a Roblox oof sound or something like that, but I don't play a lot of Roblox. So it's like, but they mentioned that. like, does Fortnite have any like iconic sounds? Because I feel like that would be something that a lot of younger people have played, or the dance, maybe like when you start the dance thing, that just, little beat.
I don't know. The thing is, there's so much in Fortnite now. Like, there's so many sounds that it's hard to probably pin one. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of Fortnite people will be like, oh, this one, but yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head.
It's really weird. And I don't know if maybe it was repetition because we played these games like longer at a time.
Like, true, yeah.
I don't mean like attention spans are necessarily shorter, but like older games, they were designed that you had to play them longer because you couldn't afford new games. Yeah. We didn't have Steam where, you had to actually go to the store if you wanted a new game kind of thing. And so I don't know if it's just that repetition that kind of like hones those into your memory or something, but this is a good question. And once again, I'm going to bring up, if you are a younger gamer, we would love to know, like, what are some iconic sounds from like your generation of games at this point?
Absolutely.
I'm very curious because I feel like there's not as many recently as there were like in the past, but I'm sure that people have some pretty good examples of things that we're not thinking of either. So
yeah, definitely let us know.
Yep. All right. What's next for you, Ryan?
Was that me or was that you? Oh, yeah.
No, that was me because I just did pylons, buddy.
That is true. I guess I need some more pylons. Yeah. Get my brain in order. I'm going to go with a game that, I guess another older one, but it's one that it's just one of those satisfying sounds that for whatever reason, the sound of it, you almost just want to hear it more, even if you're not needing to use it for that. But I'm going to go with the potion sound on Diablo.
Oh, dude.
Same with...
that is a good
it's just,
pick, dude.
Yeah, and it's just like that.
It's that bubble sound.
Yeah, it's almost like that bubble sound. You can't even mimic it.
Glass clink. Doesn't it have like the little teeny glass clink?
Glass clink. I can't remember if there's any sort of glass.
Oh no, that's when you're moving it around in your inventory.
You can move stuff around, yeah, and then like it has this almost like flipping or wind sound when you drop stuff, and just the sounds of that.
I can hear it in my brain. I just can't like vocalize it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's one of those that you know what the sound is, and you can envision it, but and it's just always there instantly when you think about it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that, the Diablo potion sound.
That's one that I know like the back of my hand, and I didn't even think about. So what a good pick, man. This is why I love this, because it's like
this is fun.
There's so many. I'm like, oh yeah. All right, listen. This, to me, I think is the most iconic video game sound ever.
Oh,
I think there's anybody in the world can identify this. And I learned a fact about this today that is going to blow people's minds, because in 40 plus years of gaming for me, I did not know this until today. So the sound is the Mario mushroom sound, the power-up sound.
Power up, baby.
Everybody has heard this sound. Everybody in the world can identify this sound. I played it for my kids. They've not played Mario. And they're like, oh, that's the Mario sound. And I'm like, absolutely. Here is the mind-blowing thing. There is the sound when you beat a level in Mario, the flagpole sound, like when you get to the flagpole, or in the older Marios where you just got to the end of the level.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude. The Mario mushroom sound, so this sound, is that song sped up like 20 times. It is the exact same song. It is the exact same sound. And I know everybody right now is going,
what?
No way.
No
way. They're not the same. Dude, yes, they are. I looked it up today. There are videos out there that show the song note by note, and then they actually speed it up over and over until it is legitimately the exact same sound. What?
That's what I was like too. And the only reason my mind's not blown right now is because Josh sent that to me earlier today. And I was like, same thing. No way. What are you talking about? And then I actually watched a dude play it on the piano, and I was like, oh, it is the same. So it's
the right. You're gonna have to put in the end of level song here too, just so that people can see. You know what I mean? I don't know how I didn't know this. My entire life, I feel like, has been a lie. Nintendo reusing and speeding up sounds to trick our brains. And you're telling me this became one of the most iconic sounds ever? And it's just a song that's been sped up 20 times?
Wait till we find out other ones that are like that.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Our whole life is a lie.
I cannot believe this. Hopefully, if you're listening, your mind is as blown as mine was, because this was something I had no idea even existed. I don't know how people figured this out either. So, like, kudos to humans in general for seeing past Nintendo's lies, and their laziness with reusing sounds and songs.
Now, if we can only figure out why they secretly
want to sue everybody.
That and additionally, they intentionally make the stick drift on their Joy-Cons.
Oh, yeah, because it sells more. Hey, Ryan, what do you say? If it makes dollars, it makes sense.
If it makes dollars, 50 Cent said that, not me.
I know, but it's I'm crediting it to you at this
point. But I do say it often.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, you got any others?
Well, speaking of, I think we got a lot of honorable mentions, but speaking of
have a few honorable mentions.
Mario, I'm going to stick with that trend. And let me know what you guys think of this sound and what it means to you. The Mario Kart star sound, when you just go straight up invincible, and invincible, and you just race as fast as you can, and nothing can touch you. Blast through everyone, knock everybody off the road. That's just one of those, like, instantly you're like, uh-oh. If they're behind you. Yeah.
Invincible while you're listening to that song.
It feels so good.
Okay, listen. A lot of people are driving right now. You're not invincible.
Yeah.
Okay, the music might have played, but let's be safe, everybody.
Stay in your lane. Follow the rules of the road.
Dude, I don't know what it is about that. And they use it, in Mario Kart. Like, I mean, it is one of those iconic things where you just feel good, man. You got that power up. You're invincible. You run as fast as you can go. You don't know. It's getting towards the end of the song. It's going to be over soon.
And let me hit this guy real quick before I run out.
I'm back to normal again.
I'm just me.
Oh, man. All right. Let's get to a few of the honorable mentions and then we'll wrap this up, Ryan.
Yes.
The Zelda Secret Discovery.
Yep. I had that on mine.
That is a very iconic sound for me. And then I have a few just phrases.
Okay.
And so I'll do those. The "Get over here."
Yep.
Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. "Finish him."
Yep.
Was another really good one. And
mine.
then I can't not mention a Street Fighter, but Hadouken! It's another good one.
Yep.
And then Mario, I mean, we have to give credit where credit is due, but the Mario triple jump, the
woohoo! Yep.
Yeah, that's another one that I think is
the coin
definitely up
sound
there for a lot of people.
Coin's a big one with Mario.
The coin, yep.
As far as like systems too, like for older gamers, like kicking on your Sega.
Oh, dude.
Sega!
Yeah.
And you see that big white screen.
Or then they tried to get all edgy with it, and they're like, Sega!
Yeah. I remember that.
Said it real fast and hard. Sega!
Sega! Another one, too, that is a deep cut, and this is for PC, was, remember the old 3D pinball that came with every Windows computer?
Oh, the one that came in Windows?
Yeah, the one that came in Windows.
Oh, my goodness, dude.
I'll throw that music in here, and that boot up when you start it, it's like it does like lasers and all this stuff. And the second you kick it on, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, that was great because that was a fun game, and it came with every copy of Windows, so it's like you automatically had a game that you could play.
Everyone that had like old school Windows, like 98 or XP or whatever, we're always playing that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh my
Sweet.
goodness, the pinball game. So,
yep.
Oh man, all right. That does it for this episode. I'm going to go listen to the Halo theme song, and I'm going to blast it through my entire house because I am amped up and I need to just hear this music. And then I'll probably follow that up with the GoldenEye song as well and dance like an idiot in front of my wife until she tells me to go away. But we hope you enjoyed this episode. It's always fun to talk about some of these things that every gamer kind of knows. We know that we missed a lot that mean a lot to a lot of people. So once again, come tell us about it. It's always fun to talk about these things. Again, join our Discord server. It's in the episode description. If you enjoyed this episode, remember, if you haven't done this, we're going to remind you right now, take a look at your podcast app. Find that follow button, find that plus button. Make sure you follow the podcast so you get all of our episodes the day that they release. It helps the show. And if you also enjoyed this, remember to leave us a 5-star review because that helps us out as well.
Oh, and we got to throw one more in because Paul will kill us if we don't. But the Gears of War, Hammer of Dawn.
The Hammer of Dawn.
Paul's like, this better be on the list, and actually almost forgot.
One more that Paul wanted to mention was the Mass Effect Reaper sound, which is very terrifying and quite good as well. So to give Paul his due there, those were 2 good mentions also. All right, well, that does it for this episode. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will be back in a few days with another episode because, hey, we release 2 episodes every single week because that's what we do, Ryan. We're here for the people.
We're men of the people.
Yes, we absolutely are. But until next time, happy gaming.
See ya!